changed up spots. Got a bird gobbling over here. Gonna get up here and get set up. He's gobbling pretty good. Scratch all through here. Down here. Pick a tree out here. Probably one of that one. We got it. With the 16 gauge. Let's go, dude. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. This thing's beating me to death. With the 16 gauge, guys. Yes. Yes, dude. Oh, man. Oh, we got him. We got him. With the 16. We got him. With the 16. Holy cow, I took it out of me. Get up here, catch my breath, and get a better look at him here. Show you the tree I was sitting at. Tom was over on the adjacent ridge and got to this big oak. And the last time he gobbled, I thought he was down here. But I think he just did a soft gobble when he's facing that way. He came right up the point. Full strut. Never knew I was here. I could hear him spitting and drumming, and I was kind of hoping he'd gobble right there. Had an absolute heck of a time trying to get a shot on him down through the point of this ridge. Was a whole bunch of little saplings and stuff. Yes. God, that makes me so happy.
Well, here he is in all his glory. I picked up that 16 gauge. If you haven't watched the TSS loading video I did for that, that's the same Browning A5 that was in that video, and I've been kind of wanting to take that out this year and grab a long beard with it. So been hunting with that here last week, and we got our chance this morning. I mean, absolutely beautiful. I mean, absolutely beautiful. I don't think there's nothing you can compare it to. I mean, just wild turkeys are a really special thing. So really don't take moments like this very lightly. These things mean a lot to me, and I think they should mean a lot to everybody. So if you're hearing turkeys and seeing turkeys and getting the chance to pull the trigger on one, definitely appreciate it, because especially now in some parts of Virginia, their populations are declining. And I've kind of seen that this year around here. It's just seems like there's not very many birds, in typical historical spots that I've went in the past. I've been hunting for about 18, 20 years now, almost 20 years of turkey hunting, and it's definitely been one of the quietest. So, I don't take the opportunity very lightly, and we do get 3 tags in Virginia, but I'm pretty pleased with just filling the one, to be honest. So it means a lot. But started at a different spot this morning, and I heard a few hens and some really, really, really distant gobbles. So pulled out of there and went to plan B. And pretty much as soon as I got up here, a crow kind of fired off down here at the bottom of this ridge, and this bird and I think 1 or 2 others. I think there was 3 toms in the group, kind of sporadically spread out down there at the point of this ridge, or I guess on the adjacent ridge. I caught him across to the one I'm on now, but he didn't gobble too terribly much. But as soon as I clucked that first time, I mean, he responded to me almost immediately. You could tell that he was alone, so I knew I had a pretty decent chance at getting him to come across. There was no way I was going to go down and back up the ridge that he was on without getting busted. So sat up about 150 yards away from him, started calling, and he responded immediately. Gave him a few minutes to kind of, you know, situate himself and see what he was going to do, make up his mind, and then, you know, hit him again on that slate just to kind of spot check where he's at and make sure I'm, you know, kind of pointing the right direction. And he gobbled again. I could tell he was close, like a lot closer. And then I kind of just shut up on him because at that point I really knew he was kind of coming my way. So I wanted him to come search for me, like really come look for me, because, you know, with a camera and all that stuff, it's pretty easy for them to pick you off. But anyways, he gobbled one more time, and I thought that he was to my left, and I'm pretty sure I said that like at the moment. I was like, I hear him walking, and I could hear him walking, and I just couldn't, like spatially, I couldn't pinpoint exactly where he was at. I thought he was down the ridge, like at the very bottom in the gully, and when he gobbled, it just sounded so kind of hollow and faint that I figured he was further away than he was. A few minutes later, and I was kind of pointing to my left, I caught, you know, movement, him walking up the point of the ridge there from left to right, and he popped strut. I could hear him, you know, spit, and he popped strut again, and he spit again, and had these little teeny tiny, you know, saplings and brush in the way, and I couldn't get a shot at him. The camera was wide open there well before I was, so kind of got nerve-wracking there. He kind of kept, you know, he'd pop out a strut and he'd look, but I was, you know, kind of reading his body language, and he was still puffed up, so I knew he wasn't nervous. He wasn't going to get out of there. He popped strut again, and he kind of like, I don't know, half deflated a little bit, and he had his head up high enough, and I remembered to aim a little bit low and to the right after patterning that gun, and I'm glad I did, because I got him. He went tumbling down the other side of the slope, and that was that. So, you know, this thing's been tromping around the woods and who knows what for, you know, almost 100 years. You know, these old A5s, you know, this one's dated around 1929, and it's just kind of cool to think about the history and just reminisce on the nostalgia of, you know, who else has put their hands on a bird or a deer or a bear or a squirrel or whatever. So just kind of cool to reminisce on that and, you know, add to it. I will say TSS absolutely transforms these old guns like this. I think this is like a 28 or 30 inch full choke barrel, and that was 1.7 ounces of number 9 TSS, and it did absolutely fantastic. I think that shot was probably 35 or 40 yards if I had to guess. So I'm going to sit here and enjoy the moment and think about the old A5 100 years ago, and maybe who else has been in moments like these with this thing at their side. I think it's time to start hiking out of here. These things are just super cool. I mean, they're just little dinosaurs, man, running around the timber, and really just can't beat it. So really appreciative of the opportunity, and even more so to do it with the old 16 gauge and some hand-loaded TSS. So that was my goal for the year, and we accomplished that. So it's all downhill from here pretty much. But we got a couple buddies coming in next week, and we're gonna hit some national forest pretty hard and try and find some birds up there for them, and we'll go from there. But anyways, thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and if you'd like this video, like, share, subscribe, drop me a comment. If you've had any luck this year, let me know. I'm real curious to see what bird populations are around you, how many birds y'all are hearing gobble and stuff like that. It just seems like down here in Southwest, it seems populations are pretty low just from the amount of gobbling I've been hearing. There's not very many birds around, so appreciative of this guy to play the game, and thanks for watching.